Hey everybody, guess who I got today? Why do I sound so down when I'm actually really happy?
Hey, everybody. We're doing it again.
We haven't done it in a while, so as you see, I have Tori. Hi, Tori.
Hi, how are
How are you?
you?
I'm good, actually. Tired.
Yep, same.
Yeah,
I got that.
yeah,
I'm doing well though. I'm
yeah,
excited to be back. I'm excited
yeah.
to do this again with you. I love these.
I know, me too. Everybody loves you on the channel, so it's really great. So the reason I got Tori today, well, we've been wanting to do this, but she's been super busy, and so have I. But um, we're going to react to Will and Harper. Is that the name? Will and Harper?
Yep.
Yeah, Will and Harper. The
Yeah.
Netflix documentary about Will Ferrell and his best friend um, Harper, who's a male to female transgender person. I'm sure
Thank
you
you for
all
saying
know.
that. Transgender is what we need to.
Transgender.
Yeah,
And
this
we'll
is
get
what we
into
need.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you, friend. And I wanted Tori actually, I was gonna do a little reaction of my own, but I think it's better to have an actual, male to female, transsexual person here with me to give a different perspective. Because I have my own perspective from coming from female to male, and I think it's, um, cool to have a male to female, especially because this is about a male to female. And, right, Tori? I kinda think it gives it I think your perspective is important in this, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I mean, how often do we hear about these kind of stories from female to male trans people? You
No,
know, how often I it's always a male to female later in life, you
thank you
know?
for saying that. This
That's
that's gonna be one of my critiques of it, and again, I'm gonna say this, and oh my god, of course, someone's gonna get their feelings hurt, but I don't really care. Um, have you noticed why are all these old men becoming old women? So, I said it.
well, I don't what, but, like, that's the reality of it. Like, why would someone get their feel I mean, it is what it is. That is
It is
exactly what's
what it is.
happening.
Literally, it's all old men becoming old ladies. It's so weird.
It is very, very strange. Like, they live their
Yeah,
whole life like, for me personally, I stopped like, I was going that route, and then I was like, no, I can't do this. I can't marry a woman. I can't sire children and
thank
then
you.
have all of this just in my head. Like, I
Thank
can't
you.
do that. I can't do that to them and I can't do that to me. So,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I like cut
your
everything, like
integrity.
I stopped. I flipped my
Thank
world
you.
upside down and I did my own thing. So like it's so
Thank you.
weird to me that these people go through all of this and are just all now like, "Oh,
Yeah,
when I was a kid I felt like this," or
I
"Oh."
know. It's I mean, and she I'm gonna just be respectful here. She, has kids
Yep.
and had a wife, which if you okay, so let's just play for the people who haven't seen it. I tried to watch it. I watched about 40 minutes of it, and I'm not kidding. I actually got bored with it. It wasn't something exciting to me. It wasn't amazing. Now, it might be amazing for people who don't know anything about trans people, but I just, you know what, just felt like the same story again. And another old man becoming a woman at the age of 60 and the same everything, cross-dressing and hiding it from their wife and then
Yep.
having to deal with their children. I was like, "Oh my god, it's the same story."
Yeah, and just glorifying the other of being transgender rather than an actual transsexual who just wants to assimilate into
That's right.
society, just
That's right.
wants to be seen as a woman, understands biology, but
Mhm.
wants to be seen as a woman, and vice
Mhm.
versa, wants to be seen as
That's
a
right.
man. Not, "Oh, this is my friend Harper, and
Yeah.
by the way, they just transitioned."
Yeah, totally. Totally. That's why I was like, "Okay, here we go." Like,
So cringe.
and forcing it upon people to accept it, and sorry, Harper, you still look like a man, you just
Yeah.
do. I don't care that you put gigantic did you notice how big the boobs are?
No, I
They
didn't
put
look at it.
huge boobs on, like, I was like, "Okay, this seems very fetishy to me," and then
Oh, there's
the
that too.
face yeah, the face doesn't look very and also really a deep your voice sounds like a woman. I mean,
Yeah.
didn't you have to practice? Tell us a little bit how you got your voice to be was it always that way?
No, no. No, 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 no. My voice was the lowest of the low, but
Wow.
as a vocal major in college and as, like, a
Uh,
musician, professionally musician, I understand how the vocal mechanism works. And when one of the classes I had to take was called vocal pedagogy, which
mhm,
is like learning about how the vocal mechanism works and then teaching others how to sing. With that, I learned the difference between male and female speaking patterns and how
okay.
males usually speak and how
Mhm,
females usually speak and like how that works
mhm.
in here.
Yeah.
And so I just took what I learned from there and applied it to my own voice. And
Amazing.
here I am.
Amazing. I'm telling you,
I
you
never had
sound
any formal training, none of that.
wow.
Yeah,
So
no
so
surgery.
so being a transsexual, isn't that, kind of important to you? Especially, I think, more for male to female than it is for female to male. I think the voice situation because our vocal cords do get,
Ch
they
yours change. Yeah.
because of the testosterone, I think they become thicker and harder, whereas it doesn't happen. Yours already became thicker and harder because
I
of
went through
going.
puberty,
That's
male
right.
puberty. Yeah.
That's
Um,
right.
and the reason I'm able to be in the pitch that I am is
Mm,
because I have such a wide range because
okay.
I've done music all my life and because I'm a professional musician,
Mhm.
I have that range, which is why I'm able to do what I do and how I
Wow.
talk. I can't go as low anymore, but that's a different thing. What I wanted to talk about in the show was
Yeah.
there was a whole part where they I don't know if you got to this yet, but they
Okay.
met with another
Oh,
transgender woman
no.
in Illinois, and
Oh,
they both had low sounding gravelly voices. They both looked like cross-dressing men
yes.
in a bar, and they're talking about how they're just frustrated. They're so frustrated with why they can't get their voice. And I don't buy that excuse at all. Like, as someone who studied this, I
Yeah.
know it's possible. Anybody can do
Obvious.
it. You have to put in so much time and
Effort.
so much effort, and it's consistent and it's consistent.
Yeah.
An actual transsexual has so much dysphoria when it
Yeah.
comes to how you sound, like
Right.
in public,
Yeah.
that you would want to change it.
That's right. That's
And they're
right.
just sitting there like, "Oh, am I doing this more for society? Am I doing this more for
That
myself?" And it's
okay,
like,
so we're gonna get into all of these things. Me and you are gonna be so in alignment because remember, everybody, Tori and I are consider ourselves transsexuals, which is different than transgender, and you can see the difference between us and them. And not that they're any better or any worse than us; they're just different than us. And I think we really need to start to really have this conversation because as you see, look at Tori and I. We could probably walk into a room and nobody would ever misgender us. And then look at Harper and Harper's friends. And I can only imagine the friends that Harper is hanging out with. And that being said, all the men, older men becoming older women. They
mhm,
have a way of walking, even the way Harper walks. And I know the work it takes to get to a space where you and I can walk into a room and people can will not, they don't. They're gonna try to pick us apart, but it's very difficult to do because we do the work to make sure we don't get misgendered and that if we do get
exactly.
misgendered, we get it. We get why we get misgendered, and
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's come on, man. We live in reality. People are gonna misgender us sometimes, and that's the reality of it.
Did you get to that in the movie? Like, the part with the misgendering the very first
Totally.
time?
Totally. The first time. I was like,
Just
"Here it
it
goes."
here we go.
Yep.
It's so I hate it. It's so
Yeah.
narcissistic. It's just, "Oh, it's ma'am. It's ma'am." I'm like,
I
"Okay,
know.
Lily. Okay, Lily." Ugh, vomit.
Totally. Oh
Ugh,
my god, they all
ugh.
hang out together. I'm gonna tell you right now, I know all those trans women that hang out together. They're all in the film business. They're all like these dudes who became women in their late
Ugh.
age of space, and now they want everyone to bend over backwards for them. It's pathetic. So let's wanna play the trailer for everyone. Maybe we could stop during the
Yeah,
trailer if we want.
yeah.
So let's get into this, let's get into this trailer here. I got the trailer, everybody, because I wasn't sure. I think copyright infringement if I got the whole movie. So I just got the trailer because it's on YouTube, and I think I have I think I have rights to use it because we're critiquing it. If there's like a specific thing you can do with copyright, if you're critiquing in a reaction. So Let me do this.
And yeah, it's wide open for everybody, the trailers,
Yeah,
so
it's a
yeah.
trailer.
So
That's
you
right.
can
That's
yeah,
right.
okay. Alright,
Okay, so let's just start, and then tell me if you wanna stop at something, and then we'll stop that, okay? So
okay.
Hi there. I'm Will Ferrell, one of the greatest actors in the world. A long time ago, back when I was at Saturday Night Live, I met a guy who was hired as a writer the same week I was hired. He wrote a bunch of sketches for me and eventually became the head writer of SNL. And over the years, he became one of my closest friends. And then one day, I got this email. Hey, Will, something I need you to know. I'll be transitioning to live as a woman.
I gotta stop.
And
The
of course,
shot
the
of the
shoes.
foot.
Yeah.
The shot of the leg. But okay, the one thing I do wanna say was I like that they said, "I'm transitioning to live as a woman, not
Yeah.
to be a woman," right? So those words matter to me on yeah,
Those words matter, however,
yeah.
later in the it doesn't show this really in trailer, but later in the
Okay, yeah,
movie,
yeah,
Harper goes around saying, "I am a woman. I am a woman, and people need
totally.
to like, I am a woman now." And it's
Yep,
like, "No,
yep.
you're not. You
No, you're
never"
not.
and then and the white not the whitewashing, but the gender washing
Yeah.
of their childhood, like,
Oh.
goes through old pictures of her as a little boy and says, "Oh, little girl Harper," and it's like, "No, no, no, no,
No.
because you weren't a little girl. Like, stop."
I know, it's so frustrating. Also, I wanna let you know, I took notes. Look, I took notes because I
I
was like,
took
"There's too
notes.
I took notes because there's I knew I was gonna forget things, but going to that, Harper starts to use the tropes from the trans activists, and
Yes.
she said, "Dead name, my dead name." I'm like, "Oh my god, do
Yep.
not." That is actually I hate that thing, dead name. Nope, you were what was her man name?
Andrew is Andrew.
Andrew. So sorry, Andrew. You were born a boy and you lived as a boy. You even lived as a man and you were married
Yeah.
to a woman and you had kids. And all those
Yeah.
things are because you're a man. And so now you don't have a dead name. That is actually who you are. But now you're living as, that's the stuff that makes people upset. Seriously. And don't take
Yeah,
us seriously.
and I hate it when people don't acknowledge that, like, they try to, like I said, gender wash where
That's
you
great.
came from. I mean,
Yes.
I share
Yeah.
my befores and stuff, and that cringes people out all the time, but I'm like, "No, no, I'm
No.
paying homage to the fact that I understand who I am and where I came from.
Great.
I'm proud of where I am, but
Yes.
I'm not, like, showing it just to, like, see, look how cool I am. It's just like, I know where I
Yes.
came from. I
Thank you.
understand that,
Thank you.
and I'm proud of where I am now, but I'm never gonna forget that, and
You
I'm not
can't.
sitting there going, "Oh, look at little girl Tori." No, no, I know I was a little boy. I
Because
know.
actually, that you sound insane if you did that. You really sound insane
It's
because
crazy,
that
yeah,
wasn't
little
little
girl
girls.
Harper. Ooh.
It's so insane. White people think we're nuts. They literally think we're nuts. So
Ugh,
so
and the
the
shoes,
shoes.
the shoe shot. "Oh, I'm living as a woman." Boom,
Oh,
shot to
shoe
shoe.
shot. Oh,
Thank you,
that's
Hollywood.
right. There was another thing I wrote down here. Oh, gender stereotypes. Holy crap. This whole thing is full of gender stereotypes like mad.
Loaded.
When she's packing her suitcase. Oh, when
Yeah,
I was a dude, I would only take 3 t-shirts and 2 pairs of pants and 2 underwears. Now I can't fit all my shoes. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You
it's
never
giving
met my
Dylan
wife.
Mulvaney.
Oh, it's so gross. My wife actually, I pack more than she does. That's how you
Damn.
know. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that is
Yeah,
actually gross. She's the
it
one who
is.
takes 2 pairs of jeans, and I take 20 pairs of jeans and 5 pairs of shoes. So
That
that yeah, so that actually really kind of pissed me off. Like these gender
stereotypes everywhere. At one point,
everywhere.
she talked about this pissed me off because I love football. People know that I love football. But she talked about how she would always go to football games or be really into sports
Yes.
because that's what boys did. And
Yes.
I'm like,
Yes.
"No, rude."
I was raised by a dad with who he has 3 girls, and we were all sports fanatics. So no, stop it with the stereotypes. It's gross. It's why all these young girls think they have to transition to boys. Like they can't
Yeah,
be badass sports girls, or you know what I mean, or like
exactly.
just badass motocross racers as
Yep.
chicks. Because no, you got to be a dude to do that. So she is reinforcing the gender
Harmful
stereotypes. This whole film,
stereotypes, for
it
sure.
reinforces it. So
It
the
does.
shoe shot, great. I'm glad that we
Ugh.
both caught that.
And
That's-
every time Harper would get out of the car, the bitch was wearing heels. Why are you're on a road trip, girl. If you are in the car for X amount of hours, bitch ain't wearing heels. Why?
that's-
No.
so
No.
again, it's cross-dressing. It's literally cross-dressing because chicks want to wear flats as much as they can.
Comfort is king when you are in the car for a long period of time.
That's right. That's
Why are
right.
you wearing heels?
Because you're
Why?
cross-dressing. Because you're cross-dressing. Okay, let's.
No doubt that Will is my friend, but I'm not Andrew Steele anymore.
It was just, whoa.
I love this country so much, I just don't know if it loves me back right now.
Okay, so I just want to say something here. I want to say something about Will Ferrell. I think it's cool that he is being so accepting of his friend transitioning. That's the best part of the whole thing to me, is that he's like super cool about it. Where he's like, oh wow, that's actually wow, but he ends up being super cool about it. So to me, that's the best part of the whole thing, is that Will's just like, whatever, you're still my buddy, and it's all good. That's the best part. But everything else is so cringy, and then this part, what did Harper
I
just
love
say?
this country. I love this country, but I don't
Yeah.
know if the country loves me
So
anymore.
much, I just don't know if it loves me back right now.
Dude, let me tell you something, Harper. Try living 30 years ago. Okay. No, everyone is totally chill with it now. So I don't know what you're talking about, right?
Also, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares about whether the country likes you. No, like the country that you used to, because she would talk about how as a guy she would go to bars all the time and drink all this
Yep.
beer and meet all these people. And
Yep.
I just want to do that again, just as Harper. And I'm like,
Yep.
oh, it's not sweet. Nobody cares. Just
Nobody
do it.
Just
Don't
do
make a
it.
movie
Right on.
about it.
Well, that's the thing that I didn't like about this movie. It is putting out this message that if you're trans, you can't travel the world, or if you're trans, that's to me what I got from this movie, was that it's so hard to be trans. It's 2024, almost 25. No, it is not. No, it is not. And if you watch, I mean, I fast forwarded because I couldn't take it anymore. But most everybody was super cool about it. Nobody actually really even cared. I think they cared, or Harper cared, more than the other people cared.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, it is so narcissistic.
It
just
totally is.
because you
Yeah.
make the other person uncomfortable when you're like, oh, these are my pronouns, or
I know.
they like they just assume something that's not true, and you're like, no, actually it's
Right.
this, and it's like, who are you?
No,
You
totally.
don't know these people.
And it's not only let's just be real here. It's not only trans people that got misgendered. There are people who are not trans that get misgendered. When I was a butch dyke, I got misgendered, and I didn't know I was trans at the time, and it would upset me, right? So I remember like getting misgendered, and it just happens. If you look super masculine and you're a woman, or you look super feminine and you're a man, it can just happen, and you just kind of go with the flow. But it seems like everything was so focused on being misgendered in this film.
Of course, yeah.
Of course, that's the agenda, I think. It's like,
and
ooh.
people don't owe you the fact that
That's right.
they don't owe
That's
you
right.
your correct pronouns. Like
That's
they
right.
don't know you, they don't know you. They'll call you what they see,
Or
and
here.
that is their reality, and that's their reality, and that's okay.
But it's or here, because I remember there's one shot of they're in one of the I think one of the first restaurants they go to, and the waitress has her head down and she's taking the order, so she's like,
Sure.
like this. And then
Here's
Harper,
two men.
that's right. She hears two dudes, and so Harper's like, "I'll have the breakfast with the blah blah blah." And she
Yeah.
goes, "Okay, sir." And then I remember
It's
they
ma'am.
both. Sorry, it's just funny.
Same old. Ugh.
You know what they missed on this movie that they could have done is they could have had so much more fun with it, because Will Ferrell is funny. I mean, I just think he's funny, and they could have really just played with the misgendering in a way that would have taken away the edge of the film, right? Because it is, I mean, you know me, I travel and I talk to many groups of people who are not trans, and I on some level make fun of myself. Do you know what that does? It literally takes away this edge that the audience has. And then everyone just starts to, once you get people laughing, then you can sort of bring in this other sort of space to it. But I think that they missed, I'm not saying make fun of yourself, but like make fun of certain kind of things. It would have taken the edge off of the film, I think.
If you can't make fun of yourself, I mean,
It's
seriously,
ma'am.
if you are someone with a mental illness like being trans, you can't make fun of yourself. I do it all the time.
Totally.
People have no idea, and I make fun of myself, and they're like, "Wait,
Totally.
what?"
Like if you made your man voice one day or something, what do you
Yeah.
want?
Ugh.
So funny. I mean, yeah, we know that. So okay, so we're just in alignment. There's just so many like things in this thing. Oh my God, I don't know how the world's gonna like me,
Ugh.
dude.
Harper, would you want to do a road trip as this new version of yourself and at the same time figure out what this all means to us?
Wait, the music also. I just can't stand the music. It's so like what did I write? The music is too drama. It's too, you know what I mean? Like all trying to get you to cry because of the music.
Yeah. You know what's
It's-
crazy about the whole thing is that she's like, I don't know if the country's gonna like me back. Well, if you are brand new to transitioning and you're trying to figure this out, and you're still not comfortable passing,
Oh, totally.
yet you go on
Right.
a road trip
Great.
with a A-list celebrity, you are
It's so
automatically gonna have all the eyes on you at
great.
all times.
Great.
Don't sit here going, "Oh, I don't know if they're gonna like me." You're asking for it. What the heck?
You're
Nobody
literally
knows
with
who
Will
you
Ferrell.
are. Yeah.
Oh God, that's a great. I didn't even think about that. You're exactly right. I mean, when they went to that basketball game in Indiana and they got like
Yep.
front row seats, and
Yep.
everyone was there putting the camera on it. You're right. Oh my God, what a great point that is. You're right. Yeah.
It-
So
And then that what did they made a point to talk about the governor of Indiana,
of
like
course they did.
banning puberty
Yep.
blocker,
I
or
wrote that down.
and I was
Yep.
sitting there like, good. But
Yeah, me too.
but Harper got mad at Will, and Will felt bad for just hobnobbing with the guy,
That's right.
essentially.
That's right.
But if you look on there, well, at least what they showed,
Yeah.
he was nothing but respectful, and he was just smiling and like, what do you expect him to do? What do you want him like kiss your ring? Like what?
Yeah,
He's the
didn't say.
governor.
And
Care?
also, they're banning. Okay, so let's just make this clear to the people watching. In Indiana, they banned children's, minors getting any kind of medical transitioning. That's what they banned. They didn't ban it for, they banned. That's the thing. People don't understand these laws that are being passed. They said, oh, 70, they made that music and it was like, oh, across the United States, 70 LGBT, blah, blah, blah. It's not
Somber
LGBT.
music playing.
And yeah, why do they always say LGBT? It's not LGBT. They're trans, specifically trans laws for minors. And they're saying it's not okay, which they should do because it's not okay. So that they made it so they sort of made it where it was you couldn't really tell what they were actually talking about. They just made it like, oh, trans healthcare is under attack. No, it isn't.
Yeah.
It's a lie.
It is total. They made it way too political for just
Yep.
that little time, and I'm just sitting there like,
Yep.
oh, here we go.
Yep.
Here
of
it
course.
is.
Of course, they have to do that because if not, then I mean, I'm gonna say my whole. I think the whole reason was to use this particular thing obviously as a means and a way to put out propaganda about trans stuff, and that to make these ideas that everyone's being stopped from transitioning, and it took this guy till he was 60 because I think he started transitioning at 61.
61.
Yeah, 61. So it took him till 61. Really? Then how come I transitioned at the age of 30? So where were you?
How do you go that many decades? Like
exactly. What? He's the same age as me. I'm sorry. Everybody, if I keep misgendering.
It's ma'am.
It's my favorite. That is literally my favorite meme of all times. I'm not even kidding. Because it's just hilarious. See, they could have used that. They could have called it "It's Ma'am." That would have
They
been an
could've.
even better title for them.
It would have the whole movie.
It's Ma'am. Oh God. See, we can make fun of ourselves. It's kind of funny.
Oh yeah, all the
Okay,
time.
let's get back to this drama-filled documentary.
You recognize this guy? This is a Hollywood movie star.
No.
You don't recognize
You don't
him?
reckon?
He's a
Okay.
movie
That's
star.
okay. Roll up the window.
Were you a little worried about how to talk to me when I came out to you?
Yeah, probably a little nervous.
There are no ground rules with friends, I'm telling you. I invite
Okay, I'm stopping there. There are no ground rules. Oh, you're the one who just said I got misgendered and my dead name. Those are ground rules. What are you talking about, dude? Harper's the one who's setting the ground rules. You can't misgender Harper. That's a ground rule, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't talk about my dead name. My God.
I do appreciate what you said earlier about like with Will. Like I appreciate his questions and his general
Yeah,
curiosity and the
totally.
respect that he has for his friend
Yeah,
with it. That
me
was
too.
kind of endearing to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it just contradicts itself. Like the movie
Yes.
contradicts itself over and
Totally.
over.
Over and over. There's so many things I wrote. Okay, so let's get.
I love
a
your
friend
notes.
of mine ask me these questions. I am
Yeah.
not afraid to talk about them.
Here's a question. Do you think you're a worse driver as a female driver?
That's the dumbest. That is so. No, that is so. Oh, fuck you.
Oh. Zing.
But I am. Yeah.
Oh.
See, that's sexist right there. Okay,
It
so
is.
that's. I know it's funny. I think it's funny. It is hilarious, but at the same time, are women going to think that's funny? You know what I'm saying? And
probably not. Also,
these are two bio men saying
yeah,
that.
of course. And that's
Yeah,
what makes it not funny, right?
that's right.
I
That's
mean,
right.
personally, I was never a good driver in the first place. So,
So you must be
um,
a woman.
yeah.
So stupid.
But this little comment that it says right there, poignant and laugh out loud funny. I didn't laugh out loud.
Yeah, me neither.
I've laughed out loud more with doing this with you than I did watching the whole thing.
I couldn't wait to have the because I was actually like, oh my God, here we go. From the beginning, from the get-go, right when it started, I was like, how am I going to get through this hour and how many minutes was it? Because it was
From the heels. From the heels, you're
my
like, oh God.
I knew the minute they started the road trip, I'm like, I know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go to all these places and see how often Harper gets misgendered.
Misgendered, yeah.
That's literally the crux of the film. How many times will you get misgendered? Well,
Yeah.
why don't me and you go on a road trip and let's see how many times you and I get misgendered.
Exactly. We'll make a movie about it.
It's
Ma'am.
It's Ma'am. Oh my God. It was actually a brilliant idea. I love it. We could do like a total YouTube series. It would be so
Yeah,
good.
we
It's
could.
Ma'am. People would totally love it. Oh, it's a great idea. We'll talk about
It
that
is.
later. So, okay, I think we're actually halfway through this trailer now. The music.
Oh, yeah. This is my friend Harper.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you, bro.
Hey, not a bro though. The she.
Okay, wait a minute. Bro is universal, just so
I
you know.
hate
Like,
that.
dude and bro are universal.
Absolutely, especially with these kids in high school.
Totally.
Everybody's bro. They call mom bro. They call dad bro.
That's
Sister.
right.
Everybody at
That's
work. Every single day, everything is bruh. Like, shut up. Like
So that's how I
nobody
think.
cares.
That's why Harper's just looking for it. Harper's looking
Yeah.
for ways to. I also wonder if it was actually Harper's idea for the road trip and not Will Ferrell's. It kind of feels like it was Harper's idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. Like,
Yeah, because it's
it
remember in the
was set up
beginning.
to think it was his. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. You're right. Yeah.
Yes, in the beginning it was all about Will. Let's take a road trip, but I don't believe it. I believe it's Harper's idea to do this
A po-
movie. Yeah,
Possibly.
and the Wachowski brothers. I mean sisters.
We're so naughty. We're so transphobic.
Yeah, but you know what? Sorry, I'm not going to give them that. When they did the Matrix and all that stuff, they were the brothers. You can't
Yeah.
go back. You know, they went back
Again,
and
you can't
changed all
gender
that.
watch it.
No, they went back and changed all of their filmology to sisters and not brothers. And I'm like, what? You can't do that. You didn't make it when you were trans or women. You made it when you were dudes. Like that's just actually messed up. I don't
Ugh,
like.
tell
But
ya.
anyway, I guarantee you, they're all friends and they're They should have all
Probably.
traveled the world. All the old men who they're old ladies now. That would have been a better documentary, right? And call it the like Golden Girls or something.
Buck, there was I know you didn't get to this because this was at the end, but this guy, well, when he was a guy, bought a house
Oh,
in a desolate area
yes.
just to cross dress.
I know. I actually
Bought
did
a
fast forward
house.
to that part. I watched the last 10 minutes. Yep. Yep. He sure
I'm
did.
like, and his words were, or her words were
Yeah.
like, I bought this so I could be me, dress up, and do my work and stuff. And I'm like,
That's right.
that that's
That,
not it. You don't.
nope.
My God. I
Nope.
think gender dysphoria was used once, a grand total of once
I
in the
agree.
entire
I agree.
movie.
It was never even talked about. And then did you also notice this about the therapist that Harper was going to? And every
Yeah,
time that her therapist would push back on them, they would get pissed off and they'd be like,
yeah,
no, because they didn't like what they were hearing.
yeah.
Okay. Instead of listening to the professional person that was basically
Right.
telling Harper, you're just a cross dresser, deal with it. So that's the other thing. I'm wondering about
Gender
the wife.
affirming
Gender affirming, yeah, that's what they were looking
therapist.
for, a gender
Yeah,
affirming therapist. But,
yeah.
I'm wondering about the wife because they only mentioned I don't know, did they mention it anywhere in the middle of the movie, his, or her
Mm,
ex? Because I know they
mm,
got she got a divorce because I think the wife was finding out that they were cross-dressing.
right. I don't remember anything specific. The only thing I remember is when they sat down with Harper's kids. That one
That's
of
right.
them, I'm
Yes.
like, oh God, that looks like a
Yes.
queer child.
Oh my god, so the note I took was, "That's when I heard the divorce." So I was listening really intently on that one because this is
Yeah.
a common trait with a lot of the newer and I believe AGP, is that
Yes.
they are always married, have kids, later in life, they get divorced and they get gigantic boobs and they, like, become this woman, and, they said, "When you and mom got a divorce," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Uh-huh, of course," and then somewhere in there, I heard because something like mom found woman's clothing.
Oh, mom found women's clothes. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
yeah, I
Yeah.
heard it, and then
Yeah.
the other thing that disturbed me was the younger kid, the one with the cap on, I think the more baseball-y cap,
Yeah.
that one she looked traumatized to me. She looked very traumatized, and she said that she was gonna miss her dad and that she
Oh, yeah.
missed the masculinity in her life. And, thank you. Early before we started when we started this, Tori, you said, "I made the choice not to get a family and children." And I think a lot of people have respect for you because of that choice, that you knew that it would cause this kind of chaos in people's lives.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I still want a family and children, but
sure.
I I couldn't do that.
Yeah,
I
that's
couldn't
right.
go that far and
Yes,
influence and impact those many lives
yes.
and then turn around and do something selfish.
Says so much about you, friend. It
You
really
know?
does. And so I think that they're trying to get this, in my opinion, these kind of documentaries about these old men becoming women, they're trying to get this empathy from us that says if they would have been able to do it when they were younger, I don't believe it. I don't believe he would have done it when he was younger. It doesn't feel that way to me. It feels more like it became a fetish and a secret thing that they were sort of hiding because they were embarrassed about it. And not the transness of it, but the more fetishness of dressing up like a woman and writing in the secret space. And I've been around a lot of
Right.
cross dressers in my life, and this Harper has that same energy to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, totally. So, and
Or
again,
we were on bro, not a bro though. Like
I know, not a
whatever,
bro.
bro.
Come on, man, really?
Sorry.
Seriously.
He made him feel
This is
uncomfortable.
probably around the age where I started to feel just kind of weird.
Yeah.
We all did. Just so you know, not just trans
Literally.
people. All kids feel weird at that. At that. God is always gonna be that. They always
This
say
is
the same
where
thing.
he was or she was gender washing. Be
That's
like, "Oh,
right.
look at little girl Harper.
Oh,
I
so she
love this
said that.
picture.
Let me
It's
see if
just little girl Harper.
it's a little boy. It's not a little girl. Like, how dare you, like,
Got
say
long
that?
hair.
Oh my
Long
god.
hair. Another
Oh my
stereotype.
god. Oh my god.
I used to come out to these kind of places before, and then I transitioned and I got a little afraid. You know what I'm saying?
What? Now, why would you be afraid? You know, I interviewed Jessica. I think her name is Jessica. She was on the show with Blair White and for that Jubilee one. She's super awesome. She transitioned from a male to female, and she's like a race car driver and rides motocross and all that. And she didn't change when she transitioned. She still kept doing it.
Yeah,
So
just
what are you
keep doing
talking
it.
about? Again, the
Yeah.
stereotypes are so.
But I cringed so hard at the amount of times this transgender woman would announce her transition to random people.
I know. It's weird. Trans people don't do that, by the way. You just go and you don't want people to know you're
Transsexuals
trans.
don't want. Yes, exactly. And that
That's
I
right.
said that out loud in my room. I was like sitting in my bed behind me watching it, and I was like, "Why are you announcing it?"
That's right. That's right. You don't announce it. It's because there's just so many layers to this that are just so insane. Oh my God, the music. I
I'm
can't-
not really afraid of these people.
Yeah, you are.
I'm afraid of hating myself.
Oh my God. I swear, you see what they're doing? They're literally,
Schmaltz.
it's a victim. That's what I wrote up here. It feels like
Victim.
a victim-y thing, like, oh, poor me. And that's not helping any of us, by the way. It's not. It's like you're coming off like this big victim of the world, and that's just not true.
That's true.
It's so weird to me, and you feel like a cross-dresser.
All I want to do is live.
Oh, Dunkin' Donuts.
No.
We've not done one fun thing.
No.
Name one fun thing we've done.
Nothing. The whole movie actually was totally insane. Okay, so that's that. Oh my God.
Hey, we made it through. We made it through the trailer.
I don't even know if I would
Yes.
honestly, I don't recommend it. I don't know. I mean, I would give it a thumbs down. I don't think it's done anything great for the trans community. I don't think anyone's going to get anything from it. I think it's going to make people more mad than anything as far as I'm concerned.
If anything, I really did appreciate Will.
Yes.
Through
Yes.
it.
Yes.
I mean,
that's true. Yes.
But everything else, yeah. I mean, it essentially just put a spotlight on trans people as cross-dressers.
That's right. That's
Specifically male to female, because again,
Again.
like I said at the beginning, you never see this kind of thing about female to male.
That's right.
Or
That's right.
it happens, but we don't make a movie about it.
How come? How come we don't? Why do you think that? Why do you think everything is being dominated by these trans women or these
Because they're
men?
men.
You said it. It's true. It literally is true. It's
the narcissism, the ego.
wow.
Biological women
Wow.
don't have that. You know?
You're right. They don't. They
Like,
literally nope.
I feel like it's kind of hardwired into men,
It is.
but not all men do that, but some
Well,
do.
But the ones like this who just need attention, look, if you were really just wanting to transition to a woman, you would do it quietly and you would
not
just
make a
do it
movie.
and make not a big a deal out of it. But I'm telling you what Harper would say if I were to say that to Harper's face. They would say, no, Buck, I need to do this for the other trans people so that they
Sure.
can see and I could be relevant in the world. And I would say back to Harper, well, Harper, we've already been doing that for a long time. And so it's not like this is all of a sudden everybody hates you. I transitioned 32 years ago and I could tell you about hate. And if you're getting hate, it's never going to go away. That's what I keep
Right.
telling everybody in the trans community. You think everyone's not going to hate us? There's always going to be haters. That's just how it is. I don't care
Yeah.
even if whatever you are in the world, if you're a Christian or you're black or you're trans or you're gay or you're whatever, right? There's always going to be hate towards you. That's just the reality of life.
Because people don't like to see other people happy.
Yeah, and also people are prejudiced. People just have
Yeah.
prejudices. That's all there is to it. And so, I just think that these kind of movies, they feel very narcissistic to me and they feel very much like, again, shoving it in people's faces. Whereas I'm not sure if that actually does us a service, especially at this point in time where people are just
Oh my
hating
God.
us beyond belief.
hating us beyond belief, and at this point, for good reason. I don't want to say
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
because again, transsexuals are just trying to assimilate
That's right.
and just
That's
live
right.
our lives,
That's
not
right.
make everything about us. Make
That's
a
right.
movie about our struggle. Like,
Yes. Though I will say, Tori, I know it's much more difficult for a man to become a woman than it is for a woman to become a man. I know the hate is out there more. I know that there's definitely more attacks on trans women than there are on trans men. That's societal stuff where if a man meets you and finds out you're trans and he's attracted to you, he might get so mad about it because he might feel like it's homophobic. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Whereas if I meet a dude, if I meet a chick, chicks have never been weird with me in that sense.
Right.
Men have always sort of, if they felt attracted to me and then they found out, they get kind of pissed off about it. But women don't necessarily tend to be so mad about it. They're just like, no, I'm not interested. So I do
Right.
think it's a thing you as a trans woman have to deal with that I don't necessarily have to deal with. So I get that. And I think we should be definitely honest about that. But that's the male space, right? Men
Right.
have a different energy coming to things.
Right. Well, and then, I mean, it comes down to they don't want to be seen as gay. So there's like
That's right.
internalized homophobia and all
Yep.
that.
Yep.
That's the bigger problem. It's not so much that, it's not so much of these trans women trying to manipulate or deceive men,
Yeah.
but that's kind of what it gets
Yeah.
thrown around as.
Totally. 100%. Yeah. It's, so I don't know. Let's just leave a couple thoughts here and then we're going to end. But why don't you go first? Ladies first.
Thank you. I just think it's important that you and I are doing this, like talking about it, because it will be championed
Yeah.
as a trans inclusive and something people that don't quite understand
Yeah.
trans people should learn about trans people. And it's like, okay, but this isn't it, right? It's being touted as that,
Yeah.
but it isn't.
That's right.
This is not the reality of a transsexual. This is the reality of a transgender person and or a crossdresser calling themselves what we are. There are similarities, but there are massive differences as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important that people speak out about that and that speak out against it. So I'm glad that you're doing it and you get to do it with me.
I know.
You're
Well,
allowing me to be a part of it.
Well, no, I mean, it can, that's what I also want people to see. Tori and I built community. This to me is real community, who we care about each other, and I don't put my beliefs on Tori, nor does she put her beliefs on me, but we respect each other. We probably have different opinions about things, and that's okay. Our experiences as transsexual people are different and always will be. But what's happened with this new transgender community to me is we have these men becoming women, older men becoming women, and they're just bringing over that really horrible male energy on it and forcing this down people's throats. And I don't think I went to look at some of the besides all the positive stuff, I went to find stuff where people had more and wow, people were just saying such mean, nasty, ugly stuff about this movie. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. They were saying, why would I watch this? I'm getting rid of Netflix. I don't like this crammed down my throat. Like, if he wants to be a woman, then let him do it on his own time. And I'm like, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let him do it on his own. Don't
That's
make
right.
a video about it glorifying, almost glorifying the struggle and glorifying what being other than male or female, essentially, because we want to talk about how being trans is really important. Like we're really a thing. It's
Well,
like, no, you're still a man or a woman.
that's right. You're still a man. Also, do you always notice that it's always these white dudes? Like, all the black. It is. It's true. Like all these outspoken trans women are literally very and also they have privilege. They do. They're all like rich white dudes.
Yeah.
Who can have
And like, if you are this rich and I was saying this out loud. If you're this rich and you have this much privilege and all this stuff, why did you not put more effort in your transition? Hello?
Totally. Why didn't you go to Thailand? They will totally change your whole appearance in like a week. So like, you're right. I mean, that's what I saw too. I see another white guy who's having some midlife crisis.
Where's the diversity? Where's the diversity?
There's a diversity with the community loves
this
to talk
community. Yeah, diversity inclusion. What is that?
Diversity, and there's no people of color. It's always, unless there's Blossom. Where's Blossom? Oh my god, it's so fucking
Don't say her
hilarious.
name one more time.
Oh my
Don't do it.
god.
Don't do it.
I love you, Tori. Thank you so much for always joining me, and
Love you
I should
too.
bring you back more. And so with that, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Let us know what you think. Leave the comments and let us know if you want to bring Tori back on sooner than later. And I hope that you go and watch it at your own risk. We're not responsible.
Yeah, we're not responsible. We gave you the synopsis.
That's right.
Watch at your own risk.
And I also want to say this to Will and Harper. No hard feelings, friend. No hard feelings at all. It's totally, I'm happy for your transition, right on. But we as transsexuals really have to sort of give our 2 cents on this, because we don't think we know you don't represent a particular part of this community. So, and that's all. It's just I think it's just a sort of reaction to what we feel about this film. Okay.
Exactly.
So see you guys all in the next one. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the things you're doing to make this channel grow. It's awesome. Love you guys. See you later.
Bye.